Hello and welcome to the video, guys. We're going to be taking a look at the T37 today. Two replays that I'm going to show you. However, first I wanted to show you just skill for LTU's index real quick. You can use this or you can use Tomato GG. It's really up to you. However, skills index also has a lot of information. You can do like MOE requirements here, mastery requirements, right, on tomato.gg. But skill also has an excellent page here, and because I'm a baboon, I really like to use his index as well. If you guys need to know anything about any kind of tanks at all, you want to know how difficult it is to master a vehicle. You want to know how difficult it is to get your marks of excellence, aka AKA, he says, MOE. That's how you're going to find it here. Here's a bunch of tank stats as well. This is what how many times the vehicle is being played, the average WN8, the average win rate, average DPG, average frags over everyone on that server in the last 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days. You can see all this for yourself. The standard is EU. Keep that in mind because skill is on EU. You can switch to NA here and take a look at this, guys. You can put anything you want in. Let's just say LTTB because I just did that. The average win rate is 46% in this vehicle, only 575 damage per game. 2.66 spots. Whatever you need to know, you could do it on this page. I'm telling you, there's so much information, but what I want to show you is the T37, guys. In fact, we'll just put that in because that's what this video is. Here's the averages for the T37, and what I want to show you is the marks of excellence and how easy it is compared to other vehicles to 3-mark the T37. So here we go, our marks of excellence. We have to go to NA, make sure we're on NA, marks of excellence. And by vehicle, take a look at this, guys. The T37 is here, and look at the MOE for 95%. T37 is actually that's interesting. It's actually third. I would think that it was even higher than that, but I mean the AMD 178B is also a very, very difficult tank to 3-mark, and the very easy to 3-mark because like people just play awful on this thing, and it's also kind of a garbage tank. Like I feel like they don't get good until the EBR, right? And then the Super Chaffee as well. I feel like this tank is very underpowered. But here's the T37 in third place when it comes to the easiest 3-mark to obtain at tier 6. You only need an average of 1381 combined score in the T37 to get your 3-mark. And again, it's weird how this works. It's not like you can just play one game and do 1400 combined and get the 3-mark, right? So I feel like some of you watching probably know how it calculates this, but you need time to kind of build up your combined score over the last 14 days and all that. I'm not going to get into all that because I don't know how all the calculations work, but here you go. If you need to know this information, this is how easy or difficult it is to 3-mark. Any light tank or any vehicle, right? Now take a look at the Type 64, 2,117 combined that you need to 3-mark this vehicle. And that's how you could tell how a tank is kind of performing. Even the 12T, it's somewhat difficult, right? So I haven't 3-marked the 12T yet. I think I will finally do it at some point. T21 is also very difficult. It's even harder than the 12T, so I'll probably get a 2-mark on this, and we'll leave it alone for a while. But because the T37, I know for me, is going to be very, very easy, we're going to pick that up. So anyway, guys, I wanted to show you this again, skill for LTU.eu. And you can find a bunch of information here. This is going to be another long video. I want to show you 2 replays, guys, but again, you can fast forward as you please. We're going to be on YouTube, and I want to kind of put all these videos, like the last LTTB video we did, we put it into one replay, or one video rather, 2 replays in one video, because to me, it just works easier that way to kind of give you guys all this at once rather than doing all these videos, because sometimes I just have an endless amount of videos that I want to bring to you guys. So if I can put them all into one, it works better for me. Now, you're gonna see here where the T37 is kind of weak, and that's in concealment, okay? Only 30% concealment I believe I have with this thing, with maybe half concealment on the crew, and low noise exhaust. So keep that in mind. This vehicle is not great when it comes to concealment. It's kind of a big fat, square tank. Your standard American tank. It's a very tough looking light, but we're able to sneak into this bush, and I wanted to show you this replay because since Lakeville has changed, I'm not sure if I've really gone over strategically how to understand and play Lakeville as a light from the south spawn now that they've changed this building over here with these two bushes. So what I like to do is come down this way and get behind this building. Once you go dark, if you do get lit, you can pull into this bush here, and I find this to be the best. You want to hug the building as much as you can so that your concealment holds through the bush if people are going to come this way. This is very important to note, guys, okay? This is very important to note. Look at this. See how we're concealed here in the bush? If you get like any kind of heavies, mediums, TDs, whatever, that pull up into this area of the map, like right in here, they're going to light you if you're not concealed. Can you see this here? Like, you can't see us, but if I was in front of the bush, you'd be able to spot us, right? So keep that in mind. You do not want to get lit here. So make sure that the bush is covering you in this direction, right? And then obviously you want to covering you in this direction too, so that you're not getting lit up here. So hopefully you guys can see that and it makes sense to you. But we're going to sit here in this area. Eventually I do get blind fired. We're going to fast forward through this, guys. I know some people hate this, but I want to get through this video so I can also show you the second game. But this is how you're doing it. Now watch. Up on my east side, right, you're going to see the TOG and the T150. This is just something I'm watching on the map, right? T50 gets one blind shot into me here, and in fact, it might have been a different game that we had to move. I don't know if it was this one, but look at the T50. See how close the T50 got to me here? He was sitting right here. I'm amazed that some other people couldn't get shots into him, but the E25 is kind of in a weird position, but because I'm in the bush like this, you can see how good my camo value is. Even in the T37, it's enough that if the T50 is, I don't know, 150, 200 meters out, you know, he's not going to have any luck in spotting me in this area. So at this point, I can see the game is progressing pretty well on the east side of the map. We're going to push this. You know, you can do this in a light tank as long as other people are pushing with you. You just have to wait for other people to take the damage, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're going to come around and smack the Tiger in the side plate. He's kind of paying attention to other people, and we're going to run around. And by the way, guys, I'll look at this ahead of time. Like, I know I'm in the free camera here, but sometimes in my camera view, I'll like look around the buildings like this with the tactical view to see who's looking and who's not. And Tiger wasn't looking there. We're able to come around the corner, and we run into the building because I'm an awful driver in light tanks. Everyone already knows this. And at this point, we're going to push. Now, another thing I want to show you is the way I go about pushing on this particular spawn, from the south spawn. I run and I do something like this, guys. I come up the corner. Well, usually I'm over here by now, but I come around this corner and I actually dive into, there's like a little ditch you can dive into right here. So I come around this way, I stay low. It's kind of hard for people to spot you or get shots here. And obviously these guys are going to sort of have shots, but the T52 having 80 alpha or whatever the heck it is, I don't know. It's not 80, it's probably like 75 or I don't know, 90 guys, whatever it is, but I'm able to, well, actually this guy hit me for 60. And is the alpha the same on the T50 as it is on the T52? Maybe not. Whatever, guys, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I come this way, and check this out. This is what you can do. In fact, we're going to get a nice thumbnail while this is going. Get that. But this is what you can do. You can stay low, guys, and then you have the momentum in a light tank to kind of propel yourself upwards here. And you can stay behind this rock and just look at the way we're doing this, right? This is the perfect play, and it keeps you safe once you get into this area from like everyone in this area and everyone over here. So you can do this, come down to the rock like this, and then you also have bushes. If you're in a smaller vehicle that's not the T37, you can actually sneak around here and you can stay safe here, but I wasn't sure if I could do that with how big this vehicle is and like how big its turret is. But you can do this like in the even 90. I would recommend you do this. You pull up into the little bushes right here, and then you could spot the remainder of this. For now, we're just kind of poking like this, and I'm able to stay safe from like the M4A1, and we're able to clean up the Arty and stuff. And yeah, this works really well. So again, I want to strategically show you how to progressively scout Lakeville from the south spawn, and this is how you're going to do it, guys, right? If your team wins the city, this is how you advance. Alternatively, you could try to run down the middle line, down the 4-5 line if you'd like. That also works fairly well, but This is the way I like to do it because usually you have TDs that are sitting here and you're not always safe to run down this middle line. So that's how I do it. I put my gun up for this T50, I ram him one more time, shoot him again, and we're able to clean him up before he cleans me up. 99 HP we have remaining, and I gave him a little wave with my turret. He was a good player, and we're at 3 kills, guys. 871 damage, 1745 assist. And now we're just going to run down the T50. We're going to fast forward here until you guys can see me get an HE shell into the back of this guy's vehicle, and that's going to be the game. But I figured I would show you, this particular game so that you could see how you're progressively scouting on this map. We smacked this guy here. That's the end of the game, guys. Hip hip hooray. We're going to get out of this one. I'm going to show you the end plates and we're going to jump into the next replay. So here you go. I'm just going to show you this real quick. You guys can pause. You can see how I have this thing set up, but we'll talk about it after the final game. We did 1014 experience here. This was a first class, right? First class. And here you go, we actually made 405 coin somehow. I don't know how. We shot a couple APCRs, I believe. But yeah, that's it, guys, for the first one. So we'll back out of this now. We're going to go into the next replay. And man, my roommates are shouting about something. I don't think you guys can hear it, but something's very exciting out there. Something's going on. T37, though, guys, this is one of those vehicles that, in my opinion, it is very easy to mark, but you have to be very cautious about the concealment. Like, a lot of people always forget sometimes the lack of concealment on vehicles. I do myself. And when you're doing that, you just have to keep in mind, like, if you get spotted earlier than you think, your sixth sense takes 3 seconds to go off, right? This is something that normally I wouldn't say to experienced players, but for newer players, like, keep this in mind. Sixth sense takes 3 full seconds, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, that's a lot of time for people to see you, aim towards you, So just keep this in mind. Sixth sense is not like that. It's not instantaneous. So we're gonna be on Sand River, guys. I'm never a big fan of this map, but I'm going to fast forward to show you guys kind of where we get to here. We go to this area of the map. We're pulling up with the AMX 1357, and from this area of the map, from the east spawn, I really, really like taking this area. It's the K4 square, and in this area you can poke up and stay relatively safe from people in this area, and you have all these side shots going at people this way. So we can shoot at the BZ-58. There's also another guy that pokes up in this area. And then you can also, when you go dark, then poke up to this area and light everyone over here. And in my opinion, this spot works very well. We're able to get a shot into the T-50. I think we get one more into him there with the APCRs. Caliban pokes up. We're able to get a shot into this guy. And this is kind of how you can make it work when you're bottom tier as well. Like, I'm shooting APCRs into the top of the Caliban, and side plates are very weak, so you can reliably penetrate with APCRs, but even the APs, you can reliably pen like the side plates of a good amount of tier 8s, right? So this is how you're doing it. You're getting this crazy angle over here, and you can poke up and stay relatively safe because of the ridgeline that this sand makes over here. So it's very, very effective, in my opinion, to take this spot. And if you do get pressed, normally you have a lot of support back here, so even if you get pressed here, you'll be able to get a couple more shots off and get a lot of spotting anyway. So yeah, you'll die early, but boo-hoo, right? Like, the amount of times I've died too early in games, I can't even count, guys. Like, there's no way. It's hundreds and hundreds of games that I've died too early in. But yeah, if you want to retreat, you can. It's just a little difficult. Like, if people are coming over this line by the time you're here, in my opinion, it might be too late to turn around, unless you're in a very quick tank, but they're going to have the shots, right? So you might as well just stay there and try and do as much as you can. So we're just taking some shots here at the T-52. I'm seeing if I can hit this guy. Like, it's very difficult. You can see him running across the map like this, but I figured I'd just try because I'm still in the range where I can hit him. This is another thing, like, I think it's like 700 something meters out. You can still, like, hit people somewhere in this area. And then eventually you can't. I believe, well, I want to say it's like 700 something, maybe 800 meters out. So it might even be like up to like the seed line or something like that, where you can still hit people when you can't see them, when they're out of render. And I've done this a lot of times in tank destroyers. It's a little trick you can do, guys. Like, for instance, if the 12T was poking up right in this little area, you can click on him on the map so you can mark him and then shoot at the marker. I don't know if you've ever seen tank destroyer players do this, but it is something you can do, and I've had success in doing this. You would think it's very difficult, but I'm telling you, once you kind of get good at understanding where people might be, like if someone was in this bush or something like that, you wouldn't even have to pinpoint it. You can just see on the map, like, look, SU-130 is lit, and I can just take shots over in this area without him even being rendered on the map, right? So 12T is coming around trying to flank the VZ-44. I'm not going to make it simple for this guy. I want to rush him now, and we're going to kind of like auto-lock him as he turns to go directly away from me, and we clean him up there. And we're doing like 1600 combined already. So this has been a good game, and I'm going to kind of show you how to now progressively scout on Sand River as well. So you guys are really getting a lot of information in this video on 2 maps, and specifically with these 2 maps, I do the same thing in lights even at like tier 9, or I would do it at tier 10. So this is not something that only works at tier 5 or tier 6, because that can be the case. Players are not as good. You can get away with more things at lower tiers, in my opinion. But on this map and on Lakeville, both of these kind of progressive ways I'm showing you to scout work for all tiers, guys. You can do this at all tiers, so keep that in mind. We're going to move up anyway to this mound from this one over here. We smack a shot into the Tiger, and people are able to clean this guy up relatively easily. It was kind of a dumb play for him, and eventually you're going to see me start to make passes in this area. And this is how you do it. You kind of scout this area until people move back enough. So I'm scouting this area again. I'm going to scout it one more time, and then I'm going to move up all the way into this little ditch line here. Now, I have to be careful of the Caliban that's here, but from this area, it's very easy for me to now get shots into the Challenger and stay relatively safe from him just because of the way the dunes work, or whatever you want to call these things, in the sand. So I'm able to get one more shot into the Challenger there. This guy's trying to hit me. He misses. If he hits me once, it's not really a big deal anyway. You know, I might be a one-shot after that, but I know he's not going to kill me with 510 HP unless he racks me or lights me on fire. So Caliban is here. I can see he's kind of looking away from me, and we're going to smack a shot into this guy and look at the combined score, guys. This is how you are doing things on Sand River, at least from the southeastern spawn over here, right? Now it's 9-5. I know we pretty much have this game won. At this point, you can use this last tune to spot this area, but I'm just going to run up to the TD area mostly. We're going to do this. You know, KV3 will stay lit here. I'm trying to load HEs for the SU-130, and take a look at this, guys. We're able to smack a bunch of shots into these guys, and something to keep in mind is sometimes when your marker is not seeing the tank, when you're on like a weird ridgeline or something, see where my gun marker was? But the tank wasn't red even. So it's kind of weird how this is working. And I don't think it's because of the tank silhouette. I think it's because I'm on like a ridgeline like this, like really weird. You can't really tell, guys, but when I was playing it, you would understand. And look, the shell goes way over because it's just one of those weird things. You got to keep in mind sometimes weird things like this happen. And we're able to get one more HE shell into this guy. Compared to the APs, so these do 115 and the HEs do 185, so you might as well, right? You might as well go for it. Cromwell's here. We just missed a shot into him. This tank also isn't that accurate, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Get a shot there into the Basoto. We're going to clean this guy up. We're doing 1676 damage, 2k spotting, guys. We have 6 spots. Like, look at this, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna wait for my turret to go around. We're gonna smack a shot into the Cromwell. I thought he had moved on, but this guy came around trying to blitz the VZ, and that's pretty much gonna be the game. Whoops, I hit the back arrow by accident, but yeah, it's all good, guys. So we're gonna now move up, and pretty much the KV3 is the only one left. I'm going to try and go for this guy. I think we get like one into him, maybe. I hit him there, armor not hit, oh well. And that's the game, guys. Throw my gun up in the air, ram into the KV3, and there you go. So this was like 3,800 combined, man. And yeah, what a game for Sand River, especially in the T37, guys. So, and you saw how much the mark was going up before it kind of, we hit the back arrow, right? So, just incredible to me. Like, I've played like not even 20 battles in this thing, and I'm already at 50% on the mark. So that's how easy it is, guys, to mark this vehicle. Like, in my opinion, I find it very, very easy. I think we'll get it in under 100 battles, I like to think. And here's the end plates, guys. This was a mastery. We did, again, 2K spotting, 1700 damage over here. Quite a combined score, if you ask me. What was the experience? 1,326 experience. We're top here by experience, and it looks like maybe like 4th or 5th by damage, something like that. Well, this guy had 2K. Yeah, like 4th, I think, guys. We were by damage, so not bad at all. Here's the detailed report. We did fire 30 shots this game. We only hit 19. We only penned 15. And average game time, I would say, for Sand River. And that's it. We did lose a lot of coin here, but we got some bonds for completing a mission. And I'm happy with that. The way I have this thing set up, guys, I promised you I would show you this. We run optics in the scouting slot. I do run this thing with low noise exhaust and the improved aiming, actually, because this tank doesn't have great aim, in my opinion. Like, the dispersion is kind of bad. I'm running situational awareness and recon up here. We're running snapshot, smooth ride, and then concealment here, and then 84% concealment on these two guys, and intuition. Intuition to me is not very vital when it comes to these quicker reloading tanks, but I feel like I should just throw it on there anyway. That's what I would recommend you guys put on your loaders, but you could go for like Brothers in Arms. It's up to you, man. You know, it's really up to you. Gun depression is actually decent on this vehicle, guys. Aim time is good, but it's just the dispersion. That's why I run the improved aiming. Because you don't have CVS at tier 6. So I usually like to run vents or something else in that slot. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, the view range is not bad on this vehicle at all for tier 6. And it's just the concealment, man. Like 31.21% concealment when we're almost, we have almost like 75% concealment here, because we got 84% on these guys and it's full on this one, right? So it's just something to note, guys. Like, even with rations and all that, the concealment is not great, but it makes sense at least. The tank is huge, man. It's this big freaking box tank. So over 12 paddles, guys, we're averaging 1,070 damage in this vehicle with an 83% win rate. So yeah, man, I don't think I'm going to have difficulties marking this thing if the games continue like that. The T21 will be very difficult though, guys. You can see that, yeah, with the camera. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one in T37. I know it's another long video. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the video get recommended to other people. As I always say, I do this for free, so I'm just here to help you guys out and to hope that you enjoy the videos, right? Like, this is why I do it. I try to, make this entertaining for you guys, and I also try and give you a very strategic overview and talk to you guys about the mechanics and all that, so that hopefully I can help you become a better player like I did, right? Like, I watched other CCs to become a better player. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.